Hello, I'm Anthony Giarrusso, also known as Yellow Polo Giarrusso, and today I'm going to be covering Salisbury, Massachusetts, Lowell, Massachusetts, and Dracut, Massachusetts. Salisbury is on the border of New Hampshire, and it's very well known for being very crowded in Salisbury during the summer months. My adoptive father's brother, who is my uncle, moved his residence to Salisbury, Massachusetts, because he really enjoys that type of location, and so do many other people. That's why they moved to Salisbury. The water around Salisbury is usually very clear at the beach, where you can actually see right to the bottom, almost kind of like the Caribbean, and that's actually pretty rare in New England waters. However, the waters are very cold most of the year, even in the summertime. When I was at Salisbury Beach, I saw surfers and I saw a lot of people building sandcastles. I guess that's really popular to do at Salisbury Beach. If you've ever been to Salisbury Beach, you'll notice a lot of like little restaurants and there's like condos and apartments all right up against the sides of the beach, and they have. I remember at least in one area of Salisbury Beach, they have like a seawall that's made out of cement. There's also this kind of like driving in kind of. It's like a O, but it's like an elongated O-shaped type thing. And then on each side, there's a lot of. They're like food stands, and they have the slide windows open and close and stuff, like a drive-through, but you can walk up to it, which is actually pretty convenient, especially if you have a family and you want something to eat during your time at the beach. I do not know if this go-kart track is still open in 2023. However, the last time that I went to Salisbury, which was about 7 years ago, it was still open. There is a possibility that the go-kart track is there and that they don't use it anymore. But I know for literally decades, people will go there and use the go-karts during the summer months. You can play mini golf, order ice cream, or even enjoy watching the traffic build up on Route 1, which happens all year round. In the summertime, though, you'll always see people towing their RVs, and they're just clogging up Route 1 right around Salisbury all the time during the summer months. It's actually kind of comical in some ways, because there's just such a vast amount of them driving on Route 1. Even though I didn't write about this in my book, when I went to Salisbury in the wintertime, there was all that snow and slush and sand that they have because they put the sand on the roads and the salt and all that stuff. There were these huge puddles, and I had a lot of fun driving my car right through the puddles and making huge waves that would spray all over the place. It was just a lot of fun. Those are memories I have in Salisbury. Even though driving through puddles is not recommended, especially when you see these deep puddles on YouTube and then the car goes right into the puddle and then it starts sinking in. But that's not very common. But I had a lot of fun driving my car through those deep puddles. Lowell is a labyrinth. It is very easy to go down the wrong road and get lost. The reason being is, unlike most cities which have a grid system, they also have this kind of grid system with a lot of diagonal roads. So you could be on one road and then get turned onto another road. They also have a lot of one-way roads, I noticed, in some of the areas in Lowell. And that can be confusing, especially if you don't have a GPS. I also remember in Lowell that there was like this big, kind of what people will call a rotary, where they have the, you'll have like a circle, but it's like an open circle, and it's above like a highway, and it goes around in a big circle, and they have like ways to get on and off the highway, the ramps, but then there's also ramps to go onto other roads, like that are normal roads that aren't highway, and that area is a little confusing too. If you were living in Lowell in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, you probably would have thought that it was a really dangerous place. And there was a lot of crime during those decades in that particular city. However, nowadays, Lowell has a little bit less crime, but there's still, moderate crime there. But it's not as bad as it used to be, according to many people that I talked to that lived there before I was born. There are now theaters, cinemas, and plenty of places to shop in Lowell. And they've really upgraded their city, especially in more modern times since the 2000s. But I didn't go to Lowell to go shopping. I went there with my family to enjoy baseball at Edwora A. Leacher Park, where the Lowell Spinners play. When I was younger, my parents would take me to these minor league baseball games. We used to go see the Spinners, the Portland Sea Dogs, and also the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Because most of my family, especially on my mother's side and also my dad's side, they lived in Massachusetts. I don't remember my dad's side ever going to a Spinners game, though. But my mom's side, we'd always go. And I remembered there was one particular game, I think it was right before my cousins went off into the army, and a lot of my cousins and my aunts and uncles, we all went to see a Spinners game together, and it was just a really good experience because everyone was there. It was just a lot of fun. And I remember getting those rounded shaped tortilla chips with the queso dip. It was a lot of fun. That's like something you'd probably do. But for whatever reason, I enjoyed that. And I think a lot of my relatives, they end up getting like hot dogs or whatever. I'm not a hot dog eater, never was. But it was a really good game, and I enjoyed it. I don't remember who they played, though. It didn't matter because I went there to have a great time with my family and enjoy a great game of baseball. Dracut, Massachusetts, is right next to Lowell. And I have some great memories. My birth mother is from Dracut, and also many of my relatives on my adoptive mother's side. Sometimes I'd visit my family and go to some of these places, and sometimes we just come here on our own. Really depended on what was going on at that particular time. A place that I'd occasionally visit in Dracut, Massachusetts was a place called Shaw Farm, which if you're from the Dracut area, you know that place very well. we'd go there and we'd get ice cream. And at the time, I don't know if they still do this now, but at the time they had a viewing area of some cows they had. And you could eat your ice cream and watch the cows at the same time, which was a really unique experience. Most places that sell ice cream do not have a place to sit and watch cows, so this was pretty cool in Dracut. A restaurant in Dracut called Mama's Italian Grill was my favorite restaurant in the whole city of Dracut. And I've had so many experiences there with my grandmother, some of her friends, and some of our other family members going to this particular Italian restaurant in Dracut. And we just had a great meal, great service, and great times to spend with family. Beaver Brook had a waterfall, and there was this very old brick building right next to it. It was a really cool place, and a lot of people will come by and actually stop and take pictures right of that waterfall in Dracut. You would want to go to Lakeview Ave for the photo opportunity. I will always have great memories of my birth family and me being able to interact with them, and also my adoptive family and being able to interact with them in Dracut, Massachusetts. And that's what makes Dracut, Massachusetts special to me. I'm Anthony Giarrusso. Maybe on your next vacation, you'll go to Salisbury, Massachusetts, Lowell, Massachusetts, or Dracut, Massachusetts. Or if you would like me to help you with any of your travel plans, please email me at wondersofanthony@gmail.com. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.